Hello, everybody. I'm Mike Martinez, Superintendent of Schools for College Station ISD. I'm proud today to share with you information regarding the upcoming 2021 bond election. In this video, you will learn about the historical growth of our district, how previous school boards and administrators responded to that growth, a recent history of our tax rate, and comprehensive information to help you make an informed decision before voting yes or no for the CSISD bonds propositions on the ballot in this upcoming election. Thank you for watching.
From 1978 to 2008, College Station ISD experienced a consistent period of growth, gaining approximately 2,000 students per decade. The decade from 2008 to 2018 was a period of accelerated growth, where the district's enrollment grew by 40%, an addition of more than 4,300 students. Most recently, CSISD's growth has teetered due to the opening of a local charter school in 2018 and the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. For this current school year, CSISD's enrollment is again on the rise with a more than 3% increase in students. According to the district's demographers, CSISD is projected to grow for the foreseeable future. During the aforementioned period of unprecedented growth, College Station ISD was able to respond with the blessing of its voters by passing bonds in 2007, 2009, 2013, and 2015. CSISD has not had a bond election for more than 5 years. Through the passage and sale of these bonds, CSISD was able to build 5 elementary schools, a 3rd intermediate school, a 3rd middle school, a 2nd comprehensive high school, as well as completely rebuilding 2 existing campuses, College Hills Elementary and College View High School. Just as the enrollment grew by 40% during the time of accelerated growth, so did CSISD's number of campuses. In 2004, there were 10 campuses in College Station. Currently, CSISD has a total of 19 campuses. According to the demographer's report, the district has capacity in these existing schools for students at all grade levels over the next few years and is not in need of new campuses at this time. Prior to selling the 2007 bonds, CSISD had a tax rate of approximately $1.22 per $100 of property valuation. As you can see, even with the sale of all the most recent bonds, the 2020-2021 tax rate was almost back to where it was in 2008. The tax rate for the current year is even lower at $1.21.50, a difference of 1.4 cents. Since 2017, the CSISD tax rate has dropped more than 18 cents, or 13.1%. The tax rate decrease can be attributed to 2 major factors. First, the Texas legislature made a commitment to invest more state money into public education, causing districts to lower the maintenance and operations tax rate. Second, because of the increase in taxable value from both new construction and existing properties within the CSISD boundaries, CSISD was able to retire some of its previous debt early and significantly lower its interest and sinking tax rate. Now that you have the background information, let's recap what we know. College Station ISD has grown, and it has grown a lot. The community has managed that growth by passing bonds to build new facilities. Over the years, the tax rate has fluctuated because of the selling of the bonds, but it is currently lower than it was before we started the period of unprecedented growth. Because there has not been a bond passed in more than 5 years, CSISD has significant capital needs. We believe that students at all CSISD campuses deserve equitable access to great facilities, which aid in an exceptional learning environment. Finally, CSISD has the capacity within its current debt tax rate to sell the proposed bonds without raising the current tax rate. Before we get into the actual projects associated with this proposed bond, let's take a brief moment to learn about the process to determine which projects are included in the bond. First, the CSISD Board of Trustees chartered a bond planning committee in March of 2021. The committee, consisting of parents and community members, campus administrators, teachers, school board members, and non-voting district-level administrators, met 5 times and considered projects in the district's facilities assessment report, as well as other needs identified through the strategic planning process and departmental needs assessments. This report is compiled by the district's architect and is a comprehensive list of facility needs from all district buildings. The committee came to consensus on all of the projects that were recommended to the board at its June 15th meeting. In July, the board unanimously voted to call an election to allow CSISD voters the opportunity to vote on the 2021 bond proposal. As previously mentioned, this bond package is different from the other recent packages as it is not anchored by the inclusion of a new school building. The main purpose of this bond is to address facility needs of some of our older campuses that have not already been renovated, upgrading the district's technology infrastructure, increasing the number of technology devices for students and staff, the purchase of new buses, new fine arts equipment, the construction of Phase 1 of a career and technology center, land purchase, and safety and security. In all, there will be 4 separate propositions on the ballot totaling $83.16 million. Again, this amount will not cause an increase in the CSISD tax rate. There are 4 propositions because of a new state law that require any project for stadiums with a capacity of more than 1,000, any projects associated with a natatorium, or any purchase of technology devices must be voted on separately. Now let's dive into the 4 propositions. Proposition A contains multiple projects that total $70.63 million. The largest portion of that amount will go toward campus renovations at A&M Consolidated High School, Southwood Valley Elementary, Pebble Creek Elementary, and Cypress Grove Intermediate. These campuses would all receive upgrades to interior finishes. AMCHS, which opened the current building in 1978, will receive roof repairs, renovations to its restrooms, orchestra and band halls, and its auditorium. Prop A also includes general equipment and infrastructure replacements and repairs for other campuses throughout the district, including HVAC equipment, roofs, site improvements, LED lighting upgrades, and playground improvements. Pickup and drop-off canopies at College Hills and Rock Prairie will be extended, and the foundation will be repaired at Oakwood. In addition, outdoor covered areas would be added to the back of the career and technology wings at both A&M Consolidated and College Station High Schools. This will provide further functional outdoor learning spaces for students to work on projects. An integral part of 21st century learning is the use of technology to augment instruction. CSISD's campus-level and district-wide technology infrastructure is critical to make sure that thousands of devices used each day are safe and accessible. The bond includes almost $14 million for upgrades and additions to this infrastructure across the district. $8.205 million of the 2021 bond proposal is set aside for Phase 1 of a new district-wide career and technology center. Phase 1 would include money to purchase property and construction of an ag barn to house show animals. The building would contain classrooms as well as a space for students who do not have a place to raise animals to show in local and state competitions. Future expansion of this facility could include an array of career and technology facilities. Growing districts are always looking for land for future buildings. This bond contains $3 million for a future land purchase to ensure that CSISD is ready to meet these future needs. $2.88 million of Proposition A would go toward the purchase of 24 new buses and the extension of the bus parking lot at the district's transportation center. CSISD's music programs are growing and thriving. With this growth comes the need for more music equipment at all levels. The infusion of new instruments and equipment will allow for the replacement of our oldest instruments, as well as expansion of the overall inventory to meet these growing needs across all of our campuses. CSISD has invested millions of dollars in safety and security in previous bond packages. This bond contains $2.3 million for security camera upgrades, security vestibule upgrades, safety fencing, traffic bollards, and fire alarm upgrades. As mentioned earlier, personal technology devices must be contained in its own bond referendum. Proposition B would provide $4.525 million for student and teacher devices and other miscellaneous technology equipment. This purchase of new devices would not only allow for replacements of those that are aging, but also provide for a significant infusion of additional devices to meet our classroom needs. Proposition C addresses the district's competitive natatorium, housed at College Station Middle School. The natatorium was built in 1989 and is home of the district swim team at AMCHS, which produces state championship caliber swimmers. As you can see, the years of humidity in the natatorium have taken its toll on the pool's plaster, tile, beams, and ductwork. The $2.97 million for Proposition C would also include locker room upgrades. Proposition D's amount is $5.035 million and includes mostly renovations to the A&M Consolidated High School Fieldhouse. When it was built, the fieldhouse was top of the line, but does not compare to the much newer fieldhouse at College Station High School. This proposition would allow CSISD to renovate and expand the square footage to accommodate the school's student athletes, coaches, and trainers. The proposition also has a smaller amount of funding to renovate the exterior and interior of the AMCHS press box and to provide an upgraded sound system for both high school football stadiums.
I know that was a lot of information to digest in a relatively short amount of time. Before I conclude this video, I do want to provide some information regarding the actual election itself. While we are projecting this bond will not raise our tax rate, there is language that by law will be on the ballot when you vote. The ballot language will include the words, "This is a property tax increase." While it is a property tax increase in that we will collect more taxes to pay off the increased amount of debt, we will be able to do so within the capacity of our current tax rate, which was mentioned earlier has been lowered 13% over the last 4 years. I encourage you to visit brazosvotes.org for important dates regarding the election and for information about registering to vote. I'm excited about the possibility of continuing to improve our facilities and infrastructure to provide the best learning environment for all CSISD students. Thank you for taking the time to become informed and for participating in the voting process.